Hello and welcome to Moneylife. This is Sucheta Dalal. This week, we naturally talk about the Hindenburg show cause notice. If you invest in the market, you're fully aware that the Securities and Exchange Board of India has served a show cause notice to Hindenburg. And we know about this because Hindenburg has gone and made it public. Now, if you followed even a little bit of it, here's a question. Which of the two is more embarrassing? That India's market regulators' year-long investigation has ended up targeting the messenger and is attempting to make a case of short selling and violation of Indian laws against a foreign entity, which is what Hindenburg is. It's a US-based company. Or it is a fact that SEBI has drawn a blank on the charge that the Adani Group has, in the words of Hindenburg, engaged in a brazen stock manipulation and accounting fraud scheme over the course of decades. This is what Hindenburg said in its sensational 106-page report that it released in 2023, causing a big turmoil in the stock market. Matter went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court set up a committee. SEBI was supposed to give a report. Eventually, nothing serious has happened. Nobody has been punished until this show cause notice. Now, who's Hindenburg? Just to refresh your memory, it is a US-based firm that specializes in forensic financial research. When it made this 106-page report public in Jan 2023, it said very clearly that it was a short seller. And Hindenburg has also said in a release yesterday that it has zero Indian entities, employees, consultants, or operations. Yet, on 27 June, it has received a show cause notice from SEBI. How that was received is a story in itself. Those of you who are interested should go and look at the website. So it says ostensibly from SEBI. Now, SEBI has accused Hindenburg of violating market regulations by making inaccurate statements about Adani. But Hindenburg wasn't alone in doing it. Yes, it made the first report, caused a sensation. After that, as it says in its public statement, there have been nearly 40 reports by major newspapers and publications around the world. And of course, in India, there's been a follow-up. It's made a noise in Parliament. So Hindenburg is by no means alone. Its report did indeed trigger severe volatility in Adani Group stocks. But now it is a broad-based investigation by multiple investigative agencies and the best papers in the world. SEBI is silent on all of that. Meanwhile, flip side, SEBI apparently found very little wrongdoing, billions of dollars through, again, quote, a vast network of offshore shell entities controlled by Gautam Adani's brother Vinod Adani and close associates. Hindenburg's quote. Hindenburg cites a Reuters report. Again, the Reuters report has anonymous sources, leaks from SEBI, which say that SEBI found only technical violations and may impose token monetary penalties on the group. How embarrassing. So, share price goes up, the regulator finds nothing, though it spends crores of rupees on heat maps and software that can track second to second what's going on using data lakes and artificial intelligence. I have talked about this in previous video blogs. We won't even go down that road. SEBI has found nothing in the sustained price ramping of Adani stocks. And it would have us believe that these stratospheric valuations were justified by fundamentals alone. In effect, investors in India and the world seem to believe that companies of only one business group deserve to be valued on an entirely different level and a higher plane. For comparison, Devashish Basu, Moneylife's editor, wrote in February 2023 that at its peak, Adani Enterprises, which is a component of the Nifty 50, was valued at a price earning multiple of 427. If Reliance Industries was valued at a PE of, say, 400, less than Adani Enterprises, its market cap would have been 16 times what it is today, and Mukesh Ambani would have been the world's first trillionaire with a net worth of 1.38 trillion. So Reliance is not good enough. Adani is on a completely different plane. Devashish Basu also goes on to say, if TCS and Infosys were similarly valued at 400 PE, then the BSE Sensex would be 8 to 10 times higher, trading at a range of 480,000 to 600,000 instead of where it was when he wrote the article, which was 60,000 or so. Moneylife itself has previously written how the stock of Adani Enterprises rose, mind you, 3,000% in just 4 years from 2004 to 8. So we are not talking about Modi Sarkar, we are not talking about this SEBI chairman. This is a series of people in SEBI who have ignored a relentless price rise. So what data? They say lies, damn lies, and statistics. We don't know what data SEBI has looked at to say there's nothing going on there. Don't look. Instead, the show cause notice to Hindenburg. Now, will SEBI be able to establish its regulatory jurisdiction and justify convoluted charges against Hindenburg? That's first question. Perhaps not. But this is not a surprise to any of us, definitely not those of you who've been listening to this video blog. It won't be the first time that the Indian market regulator has launched a witch hunt or issued orders that are devoid of logic or has botched an investigation. In fact, it's happened repeatedly in high-profile cases that deal with powerful entities or politically connected organizations. It has, in fact, often sabotaged its own orders by making contradictory claims, as it did in the co-location scam of the National Stock Exchange. Take this example. In Jan 2023, when the NSE case went to the Securities Appellate Tribunal and sat, that's what Securities Appellate Tribunal is called, all but threw out SEBI's initial order asking for 625 crore plus interest to be disgorged by the NSE, here's what SAT said. We find that SEBI has adopted a slow approach and in fact was placing a protective cover over NSE's alleged misdeeds. It says the regulator woke up and instituted an investigation only when questions were raised in Parliament. In fact, SAT found it strange that SEBI had directed NSE to conduct an investigation against itself, not once, repeatedly, in fact, 7 times. What took the cake, however, is that SEBI's whole-time member, which is the number 2 level executive position in SEBI, arrived at exactly opposite findings on the same issue in 2 separate orders on the exact same date. Predictably, one ruling favored NSE. Did anything happen? Did heads roll? Was this investigated? Were questions asked inside SEBI? Complete silence. Nobody knows anything. Typical pattern in high-profile investigations in SEBI is that it quietly issues a show cause notice, which it sometimes leaks to favorite media. This allows it to claim that an investigation has been opened. The investigation then drags on endlessly unless the noticee company, which has received the show cause notice, comes forward and asks for a settlement. Said SEBI accepts it, some money is paid, nothing is admitted, and the matter is closed. Otherwise, the case can drag on for 10 years, 15 years, or in the case of one Reliance case, again high profile, it took 21 years for SEBI to complete its investigation and impose a penalty on Reliance Industries for violation of takeover rules. We have done articles on this. Here's a link. You can take a look at it. Many investigations, like I said, have dragged on for 10 to 15 years. This is not one. In fact, in that little period, there was a lot of action against Reliance, and everything that came up was about 8, 9, 10 or more years old. This time, Hindenburg's decision to go public with its SCN and its analysis has created a situation where SEBI cannot hide. It cannot pretend it's investigating. The show cause notice is out there, and Hindenburg has absolutely attacked it. The Adani Group, remember, has business interests and controversies brewing in several countries. So it's been tracked in media in Australia and elsewhere. So the quality of SEBI's investigation is going to come for international scrutiny. It's not just Indian media whom you can threaten, silence, or cajole. SEBI may also have to answer some questions posed by Hindenburg and put on its website. One, why did SEBI chairperson Madhvi Puri Buch have two meetings with Adani Group chairman Gautam Adani in 2022 when the price rigging case was still being investigated? One should know about it, transparency and all that. Second, the serious allegation that SEBI pressured brokers behind the scenes to close short positions in Adani companies under the threat of expensive perpetual investigations, effectively creating buying pressure and setting a floor for Adani stocks at a critical time. I'm quoting this from Hindenburg's statement. And it's a very serious allegation. In fact, a senior SEBI executive tells me, if this is proved, it really suggests that the regulator is guilty of manipulation to benefit a politically powerful business house. You're creating a benchmark. It is absolutely the same as, doing something to push a price up or to push it down. You are even stabilizing it artificially. That is manipulation. SEBI going to keep quiet about it or respond or act against Hindenburg? Let's wait and watch. As far as SEBI's show cause notice is concerned, the first challenge will be regulatory jurisdiction over Hindenburg. Can it establish it? Second, when Hindenburg has disclosed that it was already a short seller, upfront, front page, what really is the charge? SEBI has not identified factual inaccuracies in the report. Instead, what it has found is all kinds of nitpicking, according to me, that facts were cherry-picked, that something was sensationalized, something else was distorted, that some words were reckless, or something else contained certain misrepresentations and inaccurate statements in order to mislead readers. Actually, there is a statement in Hindenburg's report which asks readers to do their own investigation. So there's no question of misleading. These are all technical things because everything is legal. It has to be proved, and SEBI has to prove what was done to mislead when they've been asked to do their homework. SEBI has also found issues with the report quoting a banned broker. How does SEBI know the broker was banned? Because it was disclosed in the report. In fact, SEBI's objection to Hindenburg's language in describing regulatory action against Adani companies almost sounds like a lawyer making a defamation case on behalf of a corporate house. Now, what does Hindenburg say? It says, we expect SEBI may try and impose bans or fines on us to clamp down on the prospect of more criticism of Indian companies. So blanket, prevent foreign criticism. Is that what we want? If this is to be SEBI's new standard of show cause notices also, everyone needs to worry. Because if this is the standard in order to protect politically powerful companies, then it's only a matter of time before media reports receive such show cause notices, especially if they cause any upheaval in stock prices. Even though the reports may be trying to expose corporate wrongdoing, may be full of facts, may be exposing of fraud, SEBI could easily serve a show cause notice picking on sources, language, assembly of facts, and impute motives to investigative work. Why stop at Hindenburg, which is an admitted short seller? In the past, SEBI has gone after journalists, and I can show you links. I've written pieces on it. In the past, SEBI has also faced no embarrassment or consequences to whatever it does. Closes cases, settles cases, less than a slap on the wrist, no answers. Embarrasses itself, is pulled up by the appellate tribunal or the Supreme Court. Who's going to question it? The finance ministry hasn't bothered. Questions in parliament are asked, they end up with bland, even contradictory replies. There's no pressure to ever ensure time-bound completion or to prioritize important cases. Look at this one, it went to the Supreme Court. On the contrary, pliant SEBI chairmen have been retained for long periods by giving them extensions, sometimes multiple extensions. Things may not be so simple this time. Why? Because the changed composition of India's parliament may force more accountability from the government and the regulator. More action against Hindenburg. Moreover, action against Hindenburg, especially since it involves one of the richest businessmen in the world, will continue to attract global media attention. At stake here is India's credibility as the largest market in the world in terms of derivatives trading, and international trading. We have a gift center because India as a country and our markets will be judged by the quality of our regulation. If you agree, share this video and subscribe to it. Thank you.